Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the third Sunday of Easter, April 15th, and we are looking at the second lesson and the Psalm. So this is for the Revised Common Lectionary. And I am looking at this idea of us belonging to God, that God claims us and we are God's, apostrophe S. We belong to God, claims us, and how in the Psalm 4, there's a beautiful imagery of God comforting us, putting comfort in our hearts, just walking with us and embracing us in this. It's just wonderful imagery in the psalm. So a quick story where I'm being drawn to, and the reason I'm being drawn to this, because there's times where smaller kids or larger kids, adults, and it doesn't matter the age, we can worry. We can hold everything in, and there's times where it's just like the fourth psalm. When I read it, I go, there's a sense of just this relief, this comfort that it brings. And so, a story. When I was in Juneau, Alaska, my mom was out. She had come up and she was helping out with the kids. Peter, my son, was 2-ish, maybe a little older, maybe closer to 3. Uriah, maybe just about a year, maybe a little bit older than a year, but was able to walk. Uriah was able to walk, so it was at night, and we had a hide-a-bed, and so my mom, she would pull out the hide-a-bed, and she would get ready, and it was funny, because Uriah, before that hide-a-bed was even out and ready to be slept on, Uriah would make her way from her bedroom to that bed to sleep with Grandma Sherry. One evening, one night, late in the night, Peter wakes up, and he comes out, and he's like, Grandma Sherry, where is Uriah? And Grandma Sherry says, Uriah's right here sleeping with me, Peter. And Peter goes, nothing to worry about then. And then goes back to bed. And that image just sticks with my head. Nothing to worry about. Once he found out that Grandma Sherry knew where Uriah was, that had Uriah in her arms, that Uriah was safe, nothing to worry about. And that image of our God, it just sticks with me. And so a couple items I'm thinking about using. One is a teething ring. There's all kinds you can get, but a teething ring that as a little kid, as a baby, is teeth or cutting teeth, how soothing a teething ring is, where it's like they bite on it and it's just that, and because they don't know what's going on, there's so much, and we got this item that can bring comfort and soothing. The other item I'm using, or I'm thinking about using, and some of the kids will have more, will know the worry that this can bring, especially if you've got any kids with long hair, boys or girls, the long hair, that when their parents, mom or dad, goes to comb their hair, then tangles and the knots and how that can hurt. So how that worry when you have a brush can cause, but they've got this stuff, these detangler, where you spray on it and you can then use your comb, and it helps you brush the hair without ripping it out of the skull. But that image of something that brings comfort or caring, there's just I want to use the word intimacy, but that's, of course, that's not a word we're going to use in the children's sermon, but there's a closeness, a caring, a loving when it comes about that how we care for people, how adults in the kids' lives. You can use parents if you know the kids, talk about the parents as bringing comfort, or a teacher that they love, but some someone in their life that can bring comfort and caring, and that this image of the psalm, and that we are children of God, as we hear in the second lesson. So all of those things, that as it dances together, there's something there. So that's my springboard for my children's sermon as I work with it. I hope this can give you something to spring into, trampoline into, jump into, as you prepare your own children's sermon. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Have a blessed Easter season, because Christ is risen. Christ is risen indeed. Hallelujah.